say, what's up?
What's happening, Jacob?
I say, what's up?
I hope all is well, Mr. Jacob. Guys, come on in. Jacob says, not much, just ready to learn. I hear you. Awesome. Technology seems to be working as well. We're going to hit some topics today that are going to be good, guys. I had to change the show, though. I had to change the show today. We got a good show either way, but I had to change it. I'm hoping now we don't have a delay. Make sure my resources are good. We got a lot of stuff going on. Belly's in the house, coming to us from Qatar, paying tuition with a $4.99 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Blocker Belly. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat coming all the way from Qatar, Mr. Blockavelli. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, sir. Paying tuition. Guys, I changed the show today. We are going to do another show tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. I have a good show for you guys on tomorrow as well. That's going to be an interview with Mr. Ray Sylvan, who is a tech entrepreneur that's built a $1 billion, well, not $1 billion, $1 million business. So he's going to come on tomorrow and we're going to chop it up, and I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to see how some of us are building tech companies and building them to the highest level. So that's going to be tomorrow. I want to start the show off with this week. I had a very difficult week this week. My father-in-law passed away on Tuesday, Teresa's father. And I had to drop Teresa and the kids off to the airport this morning, which is another reason why the show changed to tomorrow and so forth. And I had to come on the show today and deliver a different kind of a show. But let me just start off by saying this, because part of this show today is going to be on mentorship and how important it is in order for you to get to a certain level in your life. And when I think about my father-in-law, Paul, who's been a role model in my life for the 14 years that I've been part of the family, it's just been admirable. Mr. Paul my father-in-law was an entrepreneur, ran his business. He's a father to 3 kids and a dedicated husband. And I got an opportunity to see that with my own personal eyes over the last 14 years that has really helped to transform me into the person that I am today. Because we watch people based on their behaviors, based on conversations that we have, and so forth. And I got a chance to see it up front. Somebody who would wake up early, be in the office before people would get out of bed, and would come home late at night when we were ready to eat dinner. And he did that for years and years and years. And even when he started to experience some health issues, he still was dedicated to his work, dedicated to his family. And those are admirations that I have and took away from him. And it's guided me in my life to be the man that I am today. So I dedicate, a lot of my learnings in life, being a committed father, being a committed husband, being a committed businessman, to me seeing my father-in-law over the last 14 years. And I would just like to say, rest in peace, Paul. We're going to miss you, and we'll see you soon. So I wanted to start the show off with that. It's been a difficult week because of that. But of course, when things are difficult in life, you have to push through it. You have to push through it. So, of course, God gave me the shoulders to muster a lot of difficult situations that happens in our life, and it doesn't stop. I had every reason to not show up today, but I'm here, and we're going to continue to move forward and march forward towards our goals and our aspirations. So let's get to the show today. Today's show is different, meaning that we are not interviewing Ray. We're going to be talking about 4 topics today, 4 good topics. Topic number 1, we're going to be talking about AI, artificial intelligence, and how important it is for you to learn about artificial intelligence. And companies that are using artificial intelligence are those companies that are going to be around for a long time. So you either want to follow these companies, you either want to work for these companies, or you either want to invest in these companies. So artificial intelligence is very important and is part of tech, and you should have a good understanding of why it is important. So we're going to talk about that. The second article we're going to hit on is negotiating salaries. Many of you are looking for new roles, and many of you are getting new roles. And you want to make sure that you have the opportunity to get the salary that you want while you're getting that offer, before you accept that offer. And what you want it to do is you want to negotiate that. This is things that I talk to people about in our coaching sessions and so forth. And I give you the game on how to do so. But we're going to talk it through an article today of why you should be negotiating your salary, and you shouldn't just accept what is given to you initially, because companies are expecting you to negotiate. And if you don't, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So if you have trouble with negotiating salaries, then book a coaching session with me and we can walk through it. Matter of fact, we can even do a role play to help you out. So book a coaching session on www.blkheights.com and you will get access to me and so forth. The third article we're going to hit, which may be the fourth or the first one, is the reason why you should have mentors. It's the reason you should have mentors. And I have an article here of a gentleman who rose all the way to president of a large major company. And he got to that level by having mentors. He got to that level by having mentors. And that's important. Yesterday, I had an opportunity to take some of my ladder climbers out on the boat. And I think a reason why many people don't feel like success is within reach is because they don't have an opportunity to see it. They haven't been exposed to it. So I took 2 of my ladder climbers out on the boat with me yesterday, Friday. We all did a half day, got on a boat, and we just cruised down Lake Austin. Lake Austin has some of the most expensive homes in Texas. And just from the fact of you being on the lake and seeing homes like this and seeing people that are in tech that are able to afford these homes, it puts it within reach. At least that's what it does to me. And for the ladder climbers who were with me yesterday, it did for them as well too. Because if you don't see it, you don't know you can achieve it. If you haven't been exposed to it, you don't know if you can achieve it. So it's important to have mentors to be able to provide you that level of exposure, to be able to provide you a level of guidance and so forth. And the last article we're going to talk about is spring resume cleaning. We're going to hit on spring resume cleaning because you need to make sure that your resume is up to date as you guys are continuing to apply for new positions, as you continue to apply for those positions when you're transitioning into tech or you looking for a new role to gain additional money. You need to make sure that your resume is looking good. And we're going to hit on tips to do a spring cleaning on your resume. So that's going to be the show today, guys. Let's do this. Let's check out who's all in the house today before we get started on that first topic. We got Blockavelli's in the house. Before the Billions is in the house. We got Aston is in the house. Thank you so much. We got Aston. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Paying my dues for knowledge. Benader's in the house. Rebus is in the house. And we got Jacob Smalls in the house, guys. So let's go ahead and jump on this topic. And guys, thank you so much for the condolences. Thank you so much. It's been a rough week, but you know, life needs to continue to march on. Ms. Wade is boarding her flight right now with Aegis and Ariane. So I just got a text message that they are all good, and I will catch up with them later on this afternoon after they arrive in Milwaukee. But let's jump on the first topic, guys. We're going to talk about the first one, and I'm going to jump to this one because I think it's really, really, really important. This is the one on mentors, guys, and how important it is. If you don't see what you can actually do in your life, you're never, ever going to achieve that. So let's do this. Let's do this. I'm a first-gen college grad who went on to be president at Comcast. I couldn't have done it without mentors. And I want to say that again. I'm a first-generation college grad who went on to become president at Comcast, who's a major corporation. And he couldn't have done it without mentors. It's important to have mentors in your life, guys. It's important to have coaches in your life. You need to invest in people who are in positions to help you. You need to provide for people that are in positions to help you. You need to invest into people that are in positions that can help you. That's the reason why we have the Black Heights Patreon, for mentorship, for coaching. Because we have a community of 67 brothers and sisters, all professionals in our own area that can help you. So if you guys are looking for coaching or mentorship, you should certainly consider to join the Patreon. Or you don't have to join mine, but if you want to get to the bag, if you want to increase your earnings, if you want to grow within your career, choose somebody that you want to invest in that can help you get there. It's important, it's important, it's important. I want to make sure I reiterated that. All right, let's jump to the article. Steve White is the president and special counsel to the CEO of Comcast. He says having mentors and strong mentors played a key role in his career trajectory as a first-gen college student. Mentors who encouraged his potential helped him see setbacks as opportunities. We get a chance to go through life. We make mistakes. We may get knocked off. It's not going to be an easy road no matter what path you take. You can choose to take the easy path and be average, or you can choose to be exceptional. Either way, you're going to have a difficult path. Either way, you're going to have a difficult path. So why not take the hard path or the path to be exceptional? The path to leave a mark on this world. The path to climb, to improve your family's outcomes, to improve your outcomes, to break the generational curse. Why not choose that path? Both paths are going to be very difficult either way. Life just is difficult. That's one thing we learn every single day. Life is going to be difficult, but why not be exceptional in your journey of life? And you need mentors to be able to do that. I think about, me as a father, me as a husband. If I wouldn't have had Paul in my life, I wouldn't have understood what it meant to be a husband or a father. Mentors and role models are very, very important. So I grew up in the housing projects in Indianapolis, Indiana. When I was 10, my mother began taking me and my brothers to work with her on Saturdays as she cleaned motel rooms. We knew it wasn't her dream to clean motel rooms and pick up after strangers, but it was honorable work that represented a greater goal, giving her boys a better future. Right? His mom, did whatever she had to do in order for her to provide for her kids' future, to create outcomes of having her son become a president of a company. She did a wonderful job. Now, the question is, what are you going to do in your life that's going to be able to help other individuals dream big? What is it that you're going to do that's going to help other individuals dream big? And if you don't do it, how can you expect anybody else to do it? If you don't want to make the change, how can you expect for anything to change? Okay. At 11, I got a newspaper route and would wake up at 5 a.m. to fold newspapers and to deliver to several neighborhoods before going to school. In 2 years, I never missed a delivery day. The sense of pride I felt from working my route and contributing my earnings to the household inspired me to think about what kind of job I could have when I got older. In high school and beyond, I realized that finding mentors who encouraged my career ambitions would play a big role to my success. His mom helped him see that working hard can produce great outcomes. He got a paper route, having to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning to deliver papers. He never missed a delivery day. That's showing up. That is showing up. And if you were to read into this, the hard part is just showing up. Once you're there, you're going to work. But the hard part is just showing up. Think about it from a workout perspective. The hard part is just getting out of the bed to get on the bike or to go to the gym. Once you're there, you feel great. Show up. Show up. Show up. In high school, my basketball coach and speech teacher supported my leadership and college goals. When I didn't make the player roster for high school basketball, my coach, Ernie Klein, made me part of the management team. I did everything from clean equipment to handle logistics and travel plans, and a role helped that nurture my confidence as a leader. His coach invested into him, even though he wasn't that good to make the team. His coach invested into him, even though he wasn't that good enough to make the team. Made him a manager of the team. Made him a manager of the team. He had to handle logistics and travel plans. He didn't just say, okay, well, I didn't make the team. I'm going to go and hang out with the boys. No, I want to be a part of this. He invested into his coach. His coach invested into him. My forensics teacher, Miss Goodrum, encouraged me to join a program that helped first-generation students like me to learn how to apply to college, secure financial aid, and find scholarships, books, room, and board. You think about it. This is a first-generation college student here, guys. His mom did not know any of this stuff because she didn't go to college. She didn't know how to apply for financial aid, scholarships, room and board. And if you think about our lives, many of the people in our lives don't know the path that we're on. They don't know the path that we're on because they haven't done it. And a lot of the times, if you ask for their advice and they don't know the path, they're going to give you the wrong advice. That's the importance of having mentors. That's the importance of having coaches. That's the importance of investing into individuals who's done it before. Because a lot of people in our family haven't done it. I think about for myself. I don't know anybody in my immediate family that's made over $500,000 a year. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who's made over $250,000 a year. So if I was to ask, okay, well, how do I get to a position of power like that to make that a certain amount of money? They would probably say, be a doctor, be a lawyer. Not knowing that if you got into tech sales, you can do that. Not knowing that if you became a software engineer at a big major company, you can do that. Not knowing that if you climb the corporate ladder to a senior vice president, you could be making $1 million plus a year, right? That's the piece of it, is mentors provide exposure. When we were on a boat yesterday, one of the questions that one of the ladder climbers asked, what do these guys do to be able to afford a house like this? I've met a couple of people at Mozart's Coffee that live on a lake. One was a VP at Microsoft. Tech guys. Ask the questions, invest in other people. You will see different ways that you can achieve success. And not only that, it's going to open your mind up to the things that you just don't know. I went to Indiana University and after graduation was recruited for a job in New Jersey selling medical supplies. I had great mentors who taught me the ropes, and in my first year, I was a top quota breaker in the company, beating my target by 54% and earning Rookie of the Year at the company's annual convention. So you think about it. Every situation that this guy is in, he has mentors. He has mentors. How do you get so many mentors? You have to be likable. You have to invest in other people. You have to have something that other people see in you. Maybe it's your potential. Maybe it's the fact that you work hard like Brother Malik and you don't sleep and you're just craving knowledge and you'll pick up the phone at any time of the day to call somebody to get answers. Like our brother Jaden calls me all times of the day. Right? Every corner this guy has taken, he's had some sort of mentor. From his mom starting off with helping him with the work ethic, high school coach, college, getting into the professional world, becoming the Rookie of the Year in sales. Rookie of the Year in sales, his first year. It reminds me of myself because when I first got into sales, who did I surround myself with? I surrounded myself with the people who had done and had success. I surrounded myself with people who had success, experienced success. I'm not going to go and hang out with the people who weren't performing. No, if a salesperson made President's Club the prior year or the previous couple years, I went to talk to him. Even flew out to San Diego, flew out to San Francisco, spent some time with them, took them to lunch, took them to dinner, built that relationship. Any role, you have success in it, and I want to be in that role. I'm more in that role. I invest my time, my money, my energy to gain the knowledge. This guy's done it. He's giving you the game right here, guys. He's giving you the game. By the next year, the company moved me to Chicago as a director of product management. Before long, I was promoted again to regional sales manager and moved to Ann Arbor. Promotion, promotion, promotion. Getting the game from mentors. Shortcutting the system. They say, okay, well, you need to be in this role for 3 years. No. If you have the right mentors, you invest in people who can give you the game, you can shortcut that to 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years. I was proud of the promotion, but soon realized I wasn't yet fully prepared for a senior management role. I had a great job, a nice house, the first college degree in my family, and my mama was the envy of her church lady friends. Mom was proud. Mom was very proud. I had my doubts and fears. This had all happened fast, and at the time, I felt like an imposter. You're going to feel like that in life, guys. You're going to have some success. You're going to, they're going to give you opportunities. Many people choose to say no to these opportunities because they don't want to ladder climb. They get comfortable. I talked to a gentleman the other day. His name is Mark, and he works for us, and he's in his early 60s. He called me up and talked to me about one of the clients that I'm managing. And he said, Antoine, I'm just astounded by how you've continued to have success in this company. What is that, number 6 for you? No, I was like, Mark, no, not at this company. It's only 4. He was like, wow. He's like, in my career, once I find something that I like to do, I just stick with it. I admire somebody like yourself who always finds a different role and always have success. And I said, Mark, the reason why I do that is because I want to be like you when I get older. I want to retire with a whole bunch of money. And you start laughing, right? Because Mark's been in sales the majority of his life. So he's loaded, okay? But it was just the fact that he said that helped me become more aware that other people are watching and are in admiration as well, too. But I wouldn't have been able to do it without mentors, without people like Mark that I can call on, who was a pivotal person in my sales journey myself, and having those conversations when I first moved into sales. But the whole point of this is you may not be ready for certain things that may come your way. It doesn't matter. It's an opportunity for you to learn and grow. Don't get stuck and say, I've made it. This guy had a nice house, a great job, the first college degree in the family. He's balling. His mama is proud. He could have just said, what? I'm just going to stay low key. I made it. He wanted more. That's the whole point of ladder climbing, guys. Taking a step every single day to do more. If you don't do it, how do you expect other generations behind us to do it? If you don't do it, how do you expect your kids to do it? It's leadership as well. But he said he wasn't fully prepared to take or to lead a team when I arrived in Ann Arbor from that promotion. My assignments up to that point had been taking care of my supervisors and winning businesses for the company. And I figured my 10 direct reports would get to work making the team look good. I didn't show them away or give them the support they needed. And at the end of my first full year as a team leader, my team finished dead last out of 30 regional sales teams. The "you're not adding value" conversation with my boss soon followed and was punctuated by the 3 words, "You are fired." Damn! He got fired. I think that's the piece that many of us get scared of. We think that if we get an opportunity to do something and we don't do good, we get fired. That's the end. That's not. That's another opportunity. That's how you should look at it. It's another opportunity for you to look back at it and say, you know what? I built this house. All of a sudden the wind blew and the shit fell down. How do I make sure I build a house with a strong foundation the next time? You should know what you should have to do the next time in order for you to have success. It's no different than when you ride a bike the first time and you fall off. You figure out what you need to do in order for you to ride that bike without falling off. Same thing within your career. Don't be afraid to ride the bike. Some people don't even want to get on the bike. They see the bike and be like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm comfortable walking. Well, if the bike's going to get you there an hour early, why not ride the bike? You're too scared. So guys, ride the bike. If you fall off, pick yourself up. Figure out how to do it. Get a coach. Book a black ice session. Find a mentor. Go talk to your neighbor across the street of how to ride that bike. There's people out there who've done it before. It's your responsibility to find out who's done it, and it's your responsibility to find out how you can do it. So let's continue on. I didn't show them the way or give them the support they needed, and at the end of the day, the first full year as a team leader, my team finished dead last. So you think about it. If you are a person and you are somewhat of an individual contributor, getting results, lone wolf, and then you're tossed into a management role, that's typically what happens, guys. And I'll tell you this right now. Typically what happens is you're so good, especially if you're early in your career, you have a lot of success. Then you're tossed into a team lead role or manager role, and you're expected to manage people. Your first management role, more than likely, is going to be terrible. I experienced the exact same thing. I didn't get fired. But I had some very tough conversations. And what made me a better manager was when I got an opportunity to manage a business that I had no idea about. Because prior to that, I was managing a business where I was a subject matter expert. So of course, I thought that with me being the smartest person in the room and me having to say so and everybody coming to me, that I was good management. It wasn't. And ultimately what happened is we didn't get the results that we needed. It wasn't until I was taken off that product, put into another area where I can then focus on individuals, grooming them, giving them what they need. I gave them what they need. It's almost like putting water on seeds that are already planted. They start to grow. When they're growing, I'm growing as well too. When they're delivering results, I am getting results. When you go into management, especially for the first time, and many of you want to get into management, I think it's fantastic. However, don't think it's not going to be a challenge. And one of the ways that you can avoid some of these pitfalls is by listening to stories like this, or talking to me, talking to people who've done it. After what I felt like a gut punch, another black executive at the company took an interest in my growth. While I was still reeling, Darnell Martin, a high-ranking black executive in a different division of the company, learned what had happened and reached out to say, I got you. Right? That's another reason why you want to be likable as well too, guys. Another reason you want to be likable, because there are going to be times when you fall on your face. It's going to be time where you experience some trauma. There's going to be times where you experience some things like, we went through this week. You want people to reach out and say, you know what, I got you. You want people to reach out and say, you know what, I got you. Surround yourself with good people, and you're going to find out that they're going to invest in you, even if they don't know you. They're going to say, I got you. They're going to say, I got you. And that's what happened to him. He hired me for a temporary position where I watched and learned as he was my boss, modeled servant leadership, rather than run away from an employee who lacked skills. They saw my desire to succeed and knew I could thrive by mirroring their approach. I was hooked after watching my new mentors and knew that I wanted to pursue leadership roles. So if you understand how humans learn, the majority of the time we learn by other people's behaviors or from other people's behaviors. We learn from other people's behaviors. You guys seeing me showing up on a Saturday every single weekend, you're saying, holy shit, even when Antoine and his family are experiencing things like his daughter having surgery or his father-in-law passing during the week, there's reasons why more than likely people just don't show up. There's reasons for it. But me showing up every single Saturday, dedicating myself to this, to you, it's an example. You learn from those behaviors. And for us, when we're around people that are doing some remarkable things, we learn from their behaviors. And not only did this gentleman see him and say, you know what? He has potential. I'm going to hire him. I'm just going to bring him into my organization and pour some water on him. Give him the nutrients that he needs. You're going to sit in the back, young man. You're going to watch how we do it. You're going to watch how we lead and we're able to get the results, because that's an area where you're not used to yet. You're a cowboy who likes to be on your own. But in order for you to get someplace in your life, you have to be able to help others get to where they want to get to. You can't just always do it by yourself. They brought him in. He sat back and looked and listened and learned. Not long after Martin helped me get my career back on track, a headhunter approached me about a job at Pepsi. From there, I worked in several positions with increasing responsibility at Colgate-Palmolive before I ultimately landed in the telecommunications as regional vice president with Comcast. After 2 promotions at Comcast, I was offered a 3rd promotion to senior vice president of California region. At the time, I had my sights set on the role of president, so almost passed on the promotion due to my wounded pride. Think about that, guys. At the time, I'd had my sights on the role of president, so I almost passed on a promotion due to my wounded pride. He got hurt. He got fired. Almost passed upon it because he had got fired before. You want to be in that position. You want to be in that position where you get an opportunity where you feel your gut saying, maybe I should be doing this, but your mind is saying, maybe not, because I don't want this trauma again. Do it, because what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to make a shitload of money and get fired? What's the best that's going to happen? You're going to make a shitload of money and continue to bring in people that you can invest in to help the group. But thanks to the advice from several trusted mentors and friends, I realized it was an opportunity to prove myself as a well-rounded choice to be the next division president. I did, and after 2 years as a senior vice president, I was promoted to president at Comcast West. 11 years later, in 2020, I became president, special counsel to the CEO. Through all ups and downs, I know I wouldn't be where I am today without the mentors who supported me along the way. Rather than giving into circumstances or setbacks, my mentors taught me to look at every challenge as an opportunity to improve myself and to build the career I wanted. It wasn't always easy, but it was always worth it. I want you guys to remember this piece of it that he said, because this is important. And I said this in one of my videos earlier this week. You are responsible for the money that you make. You are responsible for your career. And until you take responsibility and accountability for your career, you're not going to get the money that you want to ultimately make. It's you. You are responsible for it. If you don't have a direction, it's your responsibility. If you can't commit, that's your responsibility. Work with people that can help you provide some vision, or work with people that can help provide you some vision. some clarity. And it all comes back down to people. People, people, people. But one thing that I want you guys to remember that he said was, rather than giving into circumstances or setbacks, my mentors taught me to look at every challenge as an opportunity to improve myself and build the career that I wanted. What kind of career is it that you wanted? What kind of life it is that you wanted? Or what kind of life is it that you want? What kind of career is it that you want? Many of us want 6 figures. We don't know anybody who makes 6 figures. Talk to people who make 6 figures. Many of us want $500,000. We don't know anybody who makes $500,000. Talk to people who make $500,000. It's important. It's important. It's important. I wanted to touch on that one, guys. Mentorship is very important. And I just found this article very fascinating because of the fact that how I was on the boat yesterday and I had some of my ladder climbers with me, and just the exposure that they were able to see. And not only that, I was able to take on a lot of information from them as well too, right? As mentees, right? I learned from them as well too, because they're smarter. They have more knowledge in certain areas than I do. So it's a role reversal. Sometimes I'm the mentee. So surround yourself with people that are on the path. Make sure that you have mentors and coaches and you invest in them and they will invest into you. First article for the day. I know it's a bit long, which probably will cause me to shorten a bit of this today, but that's okay. Let's talk about the next article, guys. Our guy, Mark Cuban, billionaire, owner of the Dallas Mavericks, big time investor. He made the majority of his money from tech. That's the reason why I follow Mark Cuban, is because he made the majority of his money in his life from tech investments and from selling a company that he created because of technology. Tech is everything, guys. I'm telling you, it's everything. But whether you're an entry-level employee or a CEO, you probably need to understand the internet and mobile technology to succeed. Next on that list, says Mark Cuban, is artificial intelligence. Our friend AI and Me, Engineering Cannabis, talks about AI all the time. Absolutely fabulous. On a recent episode of the Colin Cowherd podcast, hosted by Fox anchors Colin Cowherd, the billionaire whose first venture was a computer consulting service, said artificial intelligence is already beginning to take over the business world, and soon it'll become an essential to businesses as personal laptops and smartphones, he says. There are two types of companies, he said, those who are great at AI and everybody else. And Cuban said, if you don't necessarily have to be great, or you don't necessarily have to be great in AI to start a company, but at some point, you're going to have to understand it. It's just like the early days of PCs. You didn't have to be good at PCs, but it helped. Then networks, then the internet, then mobile. Cuban's comments echoed a talk that he gave in 2017 at South by Southwest in Austin, when he asserted that the world's first trillionaire would be an AI entrepreneur. He also committed millions of dollars to the Mark Cuban's Foundation and to the AI boot camps program, which he founded in 2019 to teach young people about AI for free. The boot camps programs aims to increase AI literacy among underserved high school students, at least partially in the name of maintaining global competitiveness. Last year, Cuban noted on Twitter that 5 of the world's largest companies, Alphabet, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Microsoft, all simply prioritize AI. And if you think about it, if you look at these companies from an investment standpoint, right? Apple, Alphabet, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, they have skyrocketed. They've skyrocketed. Even right now when we're a bit in the pullback, but if you think about these companies prioritizing AI, and you see that they're growing even when that pandemic happened. Matter of fact, when the pandemic happened, these companies went through the roof. They went to the moon. Let me make sure that my wife is not calling me. Got it. Nope. Okay, perfect. So if you want to see an effective AI in action, Cuban said on a podcast, look no further than TikTok. Many of you guys are on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. But the platform, he says, is a mastery of artificial intelligence. And that's why so many people, including children, are hooked, he noted. The brilliance of TikTok, its artificial intelligence, uses AI to present things you're interested in. Cuban, who also owns the NBA Dallas Mavericks, said TikTok-like platforms even have the capacity to save industries by tailoring content to individual users' interests and attention spans. If my son, and I like Luka Doncic, who's a basketball player for the Dallas Mavericks, NBA stuff and dogs, guess what? AI can help make sure that they're getting that information. That's the future of sports media, because we're not going to see or get a 16-year-old, 12-year-old, or a 15-year-old to sit for a full game. So if you think about it, AI is very, very important. So that's another tech field that I want you guys to keep your sights on, because it is a huge opportunity for you to make a shitload of money if you get into that space. Analytics, data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all important. And if you think about artificial intelligence engineers, or if you're machine learning engineers, like AI and me engineering cannabis, these guys make a shitload of money. AI and me always talks about me making a lot of money. I'm still trying to get the Lamborghini like him, man. All right, so that's one. I wanted to make sure I brought that one to your attention, guys, is artificial intelligence. It's another area in tech that I don't want you guys to be afraid of. I want you guys to look into it because it's a huge opportunity. Even Cuban says a person who starts an AI company or does certain things in AI, they could be the first trillionaire company or the first trillionaire. Think about that. Think about the opportunities that there are in AI. If this was open to me when I was in college, that's probably the route that I would be taking. That's a way or something that I would be studying. Okay. Let's talk about one other. And I'm going to leave the last one. I'm not going to talk about the last one, but let's talk about one other. Negotiating salaries, guys. Many of us are in that time right now where we are looking for a new job, maybe even have pending offers. Our boy Malik, who I shot out last week, Malik got offered a security engineer position, $86,000 a year. He got offered another engineering position at a SOC, a security operating center. He didn't take the first one. He said, you know what, Antoine? I did my analysis, right? I weighed the pros and cons. I didn't go with the $86,000 job. I went with the other one. And more than likely, that one was even more. He didn't give me the salary range on the other one, but I'm sure it's pretty close to six figures. But you got to think about this. One thing that he said that he did was negotiate. It's important to negotiate, guys. When you get your offer, don't just accept it. Many of us are just so happy that we got the offer. We're so happy that we got the offer. Oh my God, I'm going to ruin it if I ask for more. I was talking to our brother Steven Stern a couple months ago when he was making a transition from contract work to a full-time employee. And they offered him a certain thing, and I was like, no, you need to negotiate. This is how much you want, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you have your ranges. And I coached him along the way, and he got a better offer. But let's talk about that, guys. Let's talk about that for you. Negotiating a job offer works. 85% of Americans who counteroffered were successful. 85% were successful. Here's how to do it. Okay? Here's how to do it. When it comes to negotiating a job offer, if you don't ask, you won't receive. And I say this about life in general. I say this about making money in general. If you don't ask, you won't receive it. If you don't ask for that promotion, you won't receive it. If you don't ask for that position, nobody's going to give it to you. Ask, ask, ask. It turns out many don't ask, according to the survey from Fidelity Investments. Some 58% of Americans accepted the initial offer at their current position without negotiating, the survey found. Yet negotiating works. According to Fidelity, 85% of Americans and 87% of professionals ages 25 to 35 who countered on salary, other compensation or benefits, or both, and other compensation and benefits got at least some of what they asked for. The survey conducted March 18th through the 14th by Engine Insights polled 1,500 U.S. adults, 25 to 70, who currently work either full-time or part-time. People feel they can't or shouldn't negotiate. Guys, you should negotiate. But companies expect you to negotiate. They're expecting you to negotiate. They respect good negotiators, she added. They respect you if you can advocate for yourself. Think about this, right? You're a company owner. You're a company owner. And you know that you're going to be hiring somebody that's going to be responsible for bringing in revenue and so forth. Right? Yet when you hire this person, you say, you know what? I'm just going to dole out $50,000. They're probably worth $100,000. And if they accept that position, shortballing themselves, what do you think they'll do to you in the position of having to negotiate on behalf of the company? They're going to just accept terms that aren't favorable for the company. So think about that, guys. Think about that. When you don't negotiate, you aren't showing yourself to the employer that you're willing to negotiate for them on the behalf of the company. Negotiate. Companies are expecting you to. They respect good negotiators, she added. They respect you if you can advocate for yourself. They want someone with the confidence to be on their side of the table. Confidence is key. Therefore, do your homework. Research compensation for your job, field, and location. Also ask other people about their salaries or what they know about the pay for the job. If you understand what you can ask for, if you are doing a good job showing your value, it would help increase the confidence you have going into any salary negotiations. Before you counteroffer, identify what you want. And this is what I talk about in my coaching sessions, guys. Identify what it is that you want. It may be a higher paycheck, or it might be about a bonus, benefits, title, or scope of the job. When focusing on salary, remember that even if the salary is in line with the market data, you can still sell your specific skill set or experience as a reason for a higher rate. Okay? People feel like they can't or shouldn't negotiate, but companies expect for you to negotiate, guys. If higher pay isn't in the cards, you can also negotiate for those non-salary items. Really look at the entirety of the offer and don't just be so quick to say whoever gets the most money wins, she said. Also, think about what's going on at the company. For example, do they need you to start right away? If so, that might be worth additional pay or bonus to start earlier. Right? You got a month where you can start because you're in transition. If they want you to start in 2 weeks, you can negotiate that, guys. You can negotiate that. Maybe that's another $2,500 bonus. $2,500 would go a long way. If possible, negotiate with the person who will be the ultimate decision maker. So this is typically the hiring manager, the person that's responsible for the budget. If you can't, try to do your best to develop a rapport with the individual you are speaking with, such as a recruiter, so they can be a good steward of your case. How you approach your employer with a counteroffer also matters. Be clear that you are excited to work for the company and highlight the skills and value you bring to the table. The way you engage in the conversation is just as important as the points you are making, she said. Soft skills, selling yourself, being confident, doing the research, At the end of the day, it never hurts to ask. If the answer is no, it doesn't mean the job offer will be rescinded. Plus, you can always revisit the topic down the road. I think that's where many of us get it wrong, right? We think that if we negotiate, that they're going to take the offer away. Matter of fact, this is the conversation that I had with my brother Steven. It's like, oh man, Antoine, if I ask for too much, they're not going to give me the job. No, most companies don't make it that way. They'll say, okay, well, we can't do this, but this is what we can do. They're not going to just say, no, pass on, we're going to somebody else. If they really want you, they want you. And if you're able to sell yourself to where they want you, they want you. They want you. All right, guys, so this is the topics that I had today. I wanted to make sure I kept this at an hour. We're at the 58-minute mark right now. Let me jump over to the chats just to tune in with you guys, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being here with me today. It's been a long week, to say the least, but we're making it happen. Jamali's in the house. What's up? Anders Tech is in the house. Good morning, and my condolences to you and your family. I appreciate that. My mom is in the house. Good morning, Mom. Mrs. Wade is in the house. Good morning, chat. Oh, she's even in the chat, being on a flight. Corey Perry says, dope content. I can't even read this morning, guys. Brains all over the place. Christian's in the house. Our brother Christian is in the house. I appreciate you, brother. Work on your land. That's a good one. Ride the bike. Get there faster. SOPC, brother Wade is in. Oh, brother Kevin is in the house. He said, brother Wade, glad to catch another live. I appreciate you, brother Kevin. Let's catch up soon. Mr. Nix is in the house. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat, man. I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Let's catch up this weekend, Mr. Nix, preferably on Sunday. Sorry for your loss. Message me if there's anything I can do. I appreciate you, brother. I do appreciate that. Marvel Watkins, good morning, BH family. Miss Wade, my condolences to you and Miss Wade and the rest of your family. I appreciate that, Marvin. Engineer Cannabis, I missed the AI show. You didn't miss it, brother. We just tapped on it. Christian with the $5 super chat, I appreciate it. I'm terribly sorry to hear about your loss, and father-in-law, my condolences to you and your family, brother. I appreciate you, man, Christian. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much for tapping in this week as well, too. Sarita, I am late. Good morning, and sorry for your loss. You have my condolences. Thank you, guys. It's been an interesting week, to say the least. I just wanted to drop in this show. Guys, I'm going to be back tomorrow morning with a fantastic show, a fantastic interview with Mr. Ray Sylvan, who's a millionaire. He built a tech company, and he's a millionaire. And I thought it would be very important to show other elements of us, not the stuff that we see a lot of the times that's on the TV, right? Big media, of things that doesn't show us in a good light. This is the tech space. This is the space where there's a place for many of us that want to earn a better living, do better things, provide for our family, and so forth. And I'm bringing an individual on who's done it, right? Who's built a tech company that's worth millions. And he's going to give us some tips on how he was able to have success in his life. And a lot of it is going to be things that we talk about, from mentorship and coaching, and surrounding ourselves with people that are on our path. Surrounding ourselves with people that are on our path. Guys, that's all I had for us today. I'm going to take some time today to go to the other house that we're moving to with this tragedy that happened this week. We had to change a whole bunch of plans, so now I'm responsible for the logistics of the move and making sure that happens. And I got a lot of work to do, and so forth. But you know what? We always make it happen. Guys, I appreciate each and every one of you for rocking with me this morning. Thank you so much for your condolences to me and my family. It is greatly appreciated. I don't share a lot of this stuff on social media. I just talk about it, my personal life, with you all on this channel, because we all go through things, right? And there's things that you guys are going through as well, too. And I think the most important thing is that you have communities, and we have a community here that supports each other. And no matter what we go through, we have that support, we have that love, because life can get tough at times. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So with that being said, love to you all, and we will catch up next time. Peace, guys. So much for what you do, and thank you so much for being part of this community. It means a lot. It means a lot. You guys have no idea. You have no idea. You have no idea. But I appreciate each and every one of you. Just know this: we all go through things in life. It's important to have the right people around you when you go through tough times. 2022 is shaping up as an interesting year, a good year, but life happens. Life happens. If you're still watching,